To create the calendar page for pages for 2020, you need to have a pack of the Authentique Calendar Collections 12 by 12 pages. You get 13 months of a blank calendar set. And then what you need to do for each page, you're going to cut off this 1/2 inch piece at the bottom. You want to make it exactly 12. So I've already cut it on this one. So it's now 12 by 12. And then from my scraps, I cut out, I had a 12-inch piece, and I measured each section. So across the top here, I wanted this to be about 1 7/8. So I cut this piece here. This is going to go here, right, the exact 12 by 12. And then I cut another piece just a little bit shorter. So this is 11 7/8 by 1 3/4. So it's 1/8 of an inch smaller all the way around from the sides and the ends. So that's going to go like that. Then I cut a piece for January, and these I cut out with my, you can use your Cricut, or if you have a die punch, if you have sticker letters, you can use that. I use my brother's scan and cut, so I cut out January, and that's going to go about right in here. Now, because of the size of my letters, I can't double mat this, but this is going to work out okay. So I went through my scraps. I already done the numbers. I am not putting numbers or dates on every square. And if you have stickers, it'll be a whole lot easier. I did these with my brother's scan and cut, so they're kind of small, and some got on a little crooked, but I glued them on. So I just did the 1st, 2nd, 5th, 6th, 10, 14, 19, 23, and 31, just at random. And then from my scraps, I've cut out squares to either fit like that or over 2 spots with some cutouts like that. And so I'm just going to glue these all on in different places, and then I'll add some snowflakes, and that will be January. So let me see if I can move this down a little bit where you can see it. This is about as close, far out as I can get. Also for mine, I'm going to use a large binder clip, and I'm going to be clipping it to the top of my calendar pages. You can put as many as you want, but if you clip it in the middle here like that, then you can hang it up from this back clip. Or if you wanted to, you could do your cinch and make a calendar, whatever you want to do. Now this can be for 2020, or you can make it for 2021 to give and work on it throughout the years. So what I'm going to be doing is like 3 months at a time. I'm a little late on this, but because it's already January, what, 2nd week in January. But I'm going to go ahead and do January, February, and March in this video, and then by the end of March, I hope to have the next segment ready for you. So these are the blank calendar pages from Authentique that you can order from Country Craft Creations. So I'm going to speed up the camera, and I'm just going to glue everything in place. Okay, so there's January. And like I said, I will use a clip that will clip right here so that it can be hung up. You could add ribbon to it if you wanted to your clip. But there's a few places for notes, enough dates to keep you straight for the month, I think. But I just wanted the squares of paper, and I did draw some lines here to show the division of the different squares of the days, and here in this one. So there's January. So I will do February and March in a speeded up version so that you can see what I'm doing. Yours is going to be different because you're going to have different scraps, different shapes, and different cut aparts left. So remember, you can use stickers if you don't have a cutting machine. You can handwrite it. I thought about handwriting and I didn't like the way it looked. So I cut mine, even though they're on a little crooked. I'm happy with this. And I'm ready to go ahead and work on February and March. Now we're going to work on the February page of our wall calendar. Again, I'm using the Authentique 13-month blank calendar set that comes with the calendar that you can order that complements the calendar collection by Authentique. And then I cut off the half-inch border strip down here at the bottom that gives the name of the collection. And I've already pre-cut my numbers that I want to show. So I'm doing 1, 5, 6, 9, 14, 16, 21, 29. I cut these with my brother's Scan and Cut at a half-inch height. You can cut with a Cricut or a Silhouette, or if you have dies or stamps, or you can use stickers if you have those to get these in. And I've already cut all my papers that I'm going to put down, and I've labeled them so that I can go ahead and speed up this video and show you what I'm doing. First of all, I'm going to put down my base strip for my border. Your borders are all going to be the same. For the top, you're going to have a piece that is 12 inches wide by 1 7/8 tall, and then you will have the layering piece that goes on top of that, 11 7/8 wide by 1 3/4 tall. And I'm going to do that on all of my calendar pages throughout the year. So that is the size. And then here on the bottom, I have a 12-inch wide by 3/4 inch strip. I added the one for January off camera, but it does also have the strip down there because I think it just kind of finishes it out. So I'm going to go ahead and, since I have this one here, go ahead and put it down. Then I will put down these, and then I'll show you what I'm going to layer on top, and then I will speed up the camera and do the glue down everything for February. And like I said earlier, yours may look different because you may have different scraps, different cut aparts left. You may like one better than the other, and that's fine, and you can put them wherever you want on the calendar. Before I speed this up, I will give you the measurements for the squares. I don't know if I did that for January's. So let me put this down, and then I will give those to you. Let me see, I think I want that all the way down, flush at the bottom. Yeah, just like that. So burnish that down, make sure there's no excess glue. So for your squares, just make a note on your calendar blocks. If you're doing a single block like this, that's going to be 1.5, approximately 1.5 wide. You may have to trim a little bit, by 1 3/4 tall. If you're doing a double block, you're going to want it 3 inches wide by 1 3/4 inches tall. And if you're doing a triple block, like I'm going to be doing here, a triple block is 4.5 wide for the base part by 3 5/8 tall. And if you put a cut apart in there, then I trimmed it down to 3 7/8 wide by 3 inches tall to kind of get that border in there. So that's what's going to go there. So you just have to remember that each single block is a 1/2 inch wide by 1 3/4 tall, and then you can adjust for whatever sections you're covering. So let me go ahead and glue this down real quick, and then we'll layer the parts on that. So this, I want the lighter pink showing, so I'm going to put glue here. So this is our title border. Now for January, I did not have any of the January left from the calendar collection. because I had used all of those in my earlier project for Country Craft Creations. So I had to cut that with my brother Scan and Cut. But if you have, like for this one, I still have an extra February calendar. I just cut the title out of that. This is it right here. I cut it down. It had a little calendar down here, but I'm going to use this up here. So you can use those, and like I said, or you can use stickers, stamps. You can stamp the words. You can handwrite. You can use stickers, whatever you want to do for your title. And wherever possible, I am going to be using the title that comes in the cut-aparts by Authentique for this calendar collection. So there we got that. Just burnish that down. And now we're going to layer this up. So I want February here. And it is cut the same width approximately of what I've just put down. So I'll get the glue for that. Oops. Okay, I'll put it right in here. February. And then here on the left, I cut this ticket out that says Kissing Booth 25 cents, pucker up. So I like that. I'm going to kind of angle it just a little bit on that left side. Just a little, kind of right there. And then I also cut these two little words from the cut-aparts. It was one long piece. And then I cut them in half. Will you be mine? Or we could put it like this. Will you be mine? Like that. Wherever you want to put it. So I think I'll put it there in the space there. I could have left them all one piece, but I was thinking about using them somewhere down in the calendar. And so I think this will work just fine like this. And then I'm going to look and see if I have any stickers or anything that I might use in with this. I don't know what I have in my stash to just kind of dress it up. Okay, so I'm going to speed this up and we'll do the rest of it in a speeded up version. Then we'll have February done and be ready to work on March. You will notice on this image cut apart, I trimmed it to fit each block to see how that would look with the divider, whereas on this one I drew the pencils. This is much easier. This looks good, so whichever you prefer. So when you do that, you cut your image down into the square sizes, which are the 1.5 wide by 1 3/4 tall, and then kind of match them back together like a little puzzle. Like that. Like I said, just drawing the lines works fine too. I just thought I would see how it would work, see how I liked it. And I think I like either way. So whichever is easier for you, it works just fine. For Valentine's Day, I cut out this love out of one of the cut aparts. Put it right there on the 14. Okay, in my stash, I found these wood buttons with hearts and other little sayings, me and you. This is the symbol and, so I'm going to put that between there, the lips. So these had I've had these a long time in my stash. They were kind of, let me show you the lips when they were kind of dried out on the back. They had foam dots on the back, but I wanted to sit flatter, so I took the foam dots off, and I'm going to just glue these down to add extra decorating. And then I had these big hearts that had pre-cut out for another project that were left over, so you could cut those out if you have a punch. So if you don't have these kind of little decoratives, you could use regular buttons in pink and red, some other stickers that you might have in your stash. So let me pull this down. I'm going to glue this one down first so you can see where I pull the foam off the back. The adhesive on that, they were dried out. I've had them for probably, oh, I don't know, many years. So I'm going to put the lips there. And I want this heart here. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue all these down, and then February will be done, and I will move right into March. Now we're ready to work on March, which is the last month for this first quarter of 2020. So I have my 12-inch long piece here for the top. This is 12 inches wide by 1 7/8 tall. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down so that the plaid is facing up. Goes. Then I have a layer of the shamrocks. I love this paper. Let's see if you can see it. See how the different colors of the shamrocks. So of course this one is cut 11 7/8 wide by 1 3/4 tall. So it's just going to leave a tiny border of the plaid. Center this here the best we can. Okay, burnish that down. And then we have the March cut out of the calendar, out of the collection. So I matted this to the green, solid green. And it is the 1 7/8 inches tall. So I'm going to just kind of put it here, up a little bit, kind of even it. It covers the full section here with the plaid and everything right there. And then we have this Best Wishes stamp from the cut aparts. It's going to go right here, kind of at an angle into Thursday and Friday. And then I have a, from the cut apart, Kiss Me, I'm Irish. And I'm going to put that, kind of overlapping that just a little bit. There we go. Kind of straighten it up some. There. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and at the bottom put my plaid that I cut. I'm going to get some plaid showing. So this one is 12 inches wide by 3/4 of an inch tall. I'll go ahead and get that on. And then I'm going to go ahead and speed up the camera while I glue everything else on. You'll notice that I do have my dates already on that I wanted on here. And I've made my notes as to where different things go. So I'm doing 1, 2, 4th, 5th, 8th, 9th, 12th, 17th, 18th, 20th, 21st, 28th, 29th, and 31st for March. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up now. To represent gold, I added some the mustache, some rhinestones, and some sequins. I added a plastic flat back key here at the top. So here's some of the gold. I made gold in this little pot of gold with some of the smallest rhinestones. So all 3 months are done for the first quarter of 2020. This is January. It features snowflakes and the January images from the Authentique calendar collection. And then we have February, which features the February images from the calendar collection by Authentique. I added some things from my stash, like these little heart buttons and a kiss and some heart cutouts to decorate that up. I really like how that one turned out. And then lastly, I've done March, which I showed you that I added a key with the gold rhinestones here. I have a little pot of gold down here. These are the cut aparts from the Authentique collection for March. So I like how that turned out. So there's all 3 ready to go, and I'm putting them together, change them out each month. So check back. I will try to have it like mid-March, 1st of March, mid-March, have our collections video how-to series on what I've done with mine for the months of April, May, and June, which will be the second quarter of 2020. So I clip those together and I will hang them up. So thank you so very much for watching. Be sure to check out countrycraftcreations.com for your crafting supplies. You'll want some art glitter glue, the Authentique collection called Calendar. I use the 12 by 12 size, and the 12 by 12 blank calendar pages also by Authentique. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.